In the first episode of this series on getting your Ontario driver's license, we checked out how to get your G1 license and looked at the restrictions that G1 drivers have. Now it's time to develop a plan that will get you some practical driving experience and encourage you to keep learning. To start, let's visit a driving instructor.
Well, the idea of G1 is to have the new driver safely begin to get practical driving experience in order to keep learning and gain confidence. Ultimately, this will allow a new driver to continue on to the next level. For new drivers, it's often better to attend an approved driving school, but it's an individual choice. The Ministry of Transportation's website lists the schools offering approved beginner driver education courses. If you successfully complete an approved course with one of these schools, you can get a 4-month reduction in the minimum time you spend in G1. That's 8 months instead of 12. And you have 1 year to complete a beginner driver education course with an approved course provider. It's fine if a family member wants to teach you, but it's important to have someone teach you who's knowledgeable and a good teacher. Some new drivers are going to be more comfortable learning with a friend or family member. But remember, unless it's an approved course, you won't get a time reduction. Even taking beginner driver's education, you're still going to need lots of practice. And a parent, or whoever you practice with, always needs to meet all the conditions of being an accompanying driver. But first, before driving at all, you need to sit down together and come up with a plan.
A plan isn't as complicated as it might seem. You just need to create a general outline covering how you will learn and practice. It's about who's going to teach you, when, where, and how. This is a good time to review the important driving conditions placed on a G1 driver. Do you remember all 5?
Sure, 0 BAC.
0 blood alcohol concentration.
Everyone in their car has to have their own seatbelt.
No driving after midnight.
No driving at all between midnight and 5 a.m.
Stay off the 400 series highways.
And all high-speed expressways where the speed limit is over 80 clicks.
An accompanying driver must have a valid G license, at least 4 years of driving experience, and have a blood alcohol concentration of less than 0.05%. Or a 0 BAC if they are 21 and under, in case they need to take over the driving. Otherwise, they won't be much help keeping you out of trouble. Speaking of trouble,
most young drivers obey the rules of the road and follow their license restrictions. For those who don't, the consequences for drivers are serious and get even tougher for repeat offenses. For instance, this G1 driver has made a mistake. His accompanying driver has a full Class G license, but in this case, there's a problem. The accompanying driver is required to have at least 4 years of driving experience, which is indicated on a license by 4 dots. This one doesn't have any, meaning he doesn't have the experience required to be an accompanying driver. So this in turn is bad news for the G1 driver, and even if it's his first infraction, his license will be suspended for 30 days. If he has any prior infractions, his license will be suspended for 90 days, and for a third, he'll lose it altogether and have to start by getting a G1 again. These suspension periods also apply to G1, G2 drivers who are convicted of an offense that carries 4 or more demerit points.
these rules are designed to keep you and others on the road safe while you're learning. Now that you're getting ready for your G1 road test, be sure to view our next video in this series, where you'll learn more about the G1 road test and moving on to G2.